that was the second water I had taken
Yeah.
from him that weekend.
That's very generous of him.
It was. So by that point, I was like, the Jason Lee photo op's in an hour and a half. I'm such a massive Earl fan. Um, I decide I'm gonna do it.
All right.
So I buy the Jason Lee photo op. The photo op was at 1:45. They weren't going to start lining up until 1:15. But I get down there at like 12:50, and I'm just like, I'm not moving. I'm staying right here. Like this is where I'm staying until that fifth in line.
All right.
I am fifth in line, and uh, so the people in front of me, and I can hear, because it's just a little like curtain thing, and I can like hear, and like he remembers every single person in front of me because they'd all gotten autographs already. And like I'm not joking. He's like, "Oh wow, I saw you in my line earlier. It's so good to see you again." Like I'm sure the photographer hated him because the line was massive, like huge.
Oh, yeah.
And but he's taking time with like everyone. So, like they wave me in, and he kind of cocks his head and he goes, puts his hand out, we shake hands. He goes, "I haven't seen you yet, but I'm so glad you're here." And like
That's
puts his
nice.
arm on my shoulder. And when he puts his hand on my shoulder, I think he's going for a hug. So and then I stop and I go, "I thought you were going to hug me." And he goes, "We can hug." So like Jason Lee gives me this big hug, and I'd talked to Pops and told him Jason Lee was going to be in town, and Pops is like, "Well, if you meet him, tell him how much I love the show." So like, we put our arms around each other for the photo, and I go, "Hey, my dad really loves My Name Is Earl, and I told him I'd tell you if I met you." And he goes, "Oh, that's so awesome! Please tell your dad I said thank you."
Nice.
And so I'm like, and then like he's turning and talking to me, so they're not taking the photo, and I go, "Hey, man, can we do the closed eye Earl pose?" And he goes, "Yeah, the Earl pose? Oh yeah, definitely." And he just like goes right into it. So I'm gonna, in real time, I'm going to send you this picture.
All right.
And uh, so we take the photo, and like after the picture, he's like, "Man, you are huge. How tall are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm 6'7". And he goes, 6'7"? Wow. Like you are huge, and you have that big beard too.
That's a
And
great
like
picture.
at this point, I'm like, yeah, I might as well be like, I'm just sitting there, tee-hee-hee, like like fangirling because Jason Lee's being so incredibly kind to me, and yeah, so like ended up doing that. Hadn't planned to. You knew I hadn't planned to.
Yeah, I like when I left, you were like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna."
I talked myself back into it.
Well, good. It sounds like it was well worth it, and that you had a good time doing that.
Yeah, so he was so incredibly cool, but I knew the part that would really pop you would be stealing a
Yeah.
second water
Well,
from Kevin Smith.
technically, you didn't steal that one because he gave
Yeah.
that one to you, but yeah, getting a second one from him, that's hilarious. That's really good. That's really good.
Did you see the picture?
Yeah, no, it's a really good picture.
Yeah.
That's
so all in all, as always, a good con weekend.
Yeah.
I liked the addition of the flare for the lanyards.
Yeah, the little ribbons. Yeah.
Yeah. Be looking out for the hashtag FWB podcast one.
Oh, it's
in
2024.
Happening.
It's happening.
I do want to get like two special ones made, one that says Chris and one that says also Chris.
Oh, wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
That would be
that
good.
Would be just such a good bit.
That would be funny.
All
yeah.
right.
Yeah, we're gonna brainstorm something good for next year's LexCon. We're gonna be unofficially we're gonna hijack part of that show. It's gonna be great.
Man, we haven't done that in a few years. I think it's time.
It is time. It is.
So,
You know,
buddy, do we have to push jail mail to this week?
no,
Or do we
no,
still have
no, we're
time
not.
for
We
it?
got this. We got this because